And we're now joined in studio by Dan Perry, International Affairs Analyst, here to talk more about this somewhat shocking story. I mean, not only did this happen, but he's 21 years old. So how could you explain such a young guy having access to such important information?
Well, he's an IT specialist, so either he's a hacker or this reveals something of the unbearable lightness of access to classified documents.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really know where he got the documents, but there is at least one narrative that says that, you know, daily briefings, emails, and so forth that contain such documents may be accessible to a wider group of people than might have been believed, and that could possibly make sense.
And what does that say about, you know, we think of the United States being, you know, having a very robust intelligence and security committee that, I mean, even a Facebook employee wouldn't be able to get these kind of documents at his level.
No, it's insane. He was in the Air National Guard of Massachusetts. He was an IT specialist. They do have access to some stuff. It would appear like this is something that reflects excessive access, or at least ease of hacking. We don't know the motivation. We don't know if there are other people involved. He appears to be of a different cast than previous leakers that were ideological, like Daniel Ellsberg back in the 60s, or Julian Assange, or Chelsea Manning even. Certainly Edward Snowden. All those people had access that appeared post factum to be reasonable and a clear ideology. We don't know what this guy's motivations would have even been. He appears to have been largely motivated by bravado, young guy showing off to his friends. Yeah,
and what he can do in the social media. So how significant of a, you know, should this go to trial? I mean, this really does count as treason. Like, could this kid go to prison the rest of his life over something?
You know,
like
it's
this?
weirdly subjective. Like Edward Snowden has multiple life sentences and had to flee to Russia, where he's been given citizenship and may never come back to the U.S. So they threw the book at Snowden. Chelsea Manning, you know, got off relatively not scot-free. Ended up in jail for a while, but it wasn't quite as bad. And you know, Ellsberg, I believe, was never even prosecuted. It depends on what the motivation is seen to have been, I believe. And also, at the end of the day, realistically, deterrence is a factor here. I mean, you can have data security, and I have to think this will lead to greater data security in the future. And deterrence is the other thing that you can do. It's possible that if they conclude that the only thing they can do is to deter future people from doing any such thing, then they'll throw the book at this guy as well.
And what do you think the global repercussions are of the information that was released? I mean, classified is talking about Israel in there, it's talking about Ukraine.
I mean, it damages, I think, both Ukraine and Russia in a way. It shows that America is spying on its allies, from Israel to South Korea to Hungary, if Hungary can still be called an ally. Realistically, when such things happen, it's a little bit awkward, and it can be exploited diplomatically, but it's no big surprise to anyone. Yeah. I mean, we know that there is signals intelligence, even human intelligence, between allies, and that's just the way it is.
And there's a level of what happened, you think, precipitate a need in the American, you know, government and community to re-look at access to information for government employees?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, either, as I say, this is a technological breach where he was able to hack, or it shows that a 21-year-old junior airman from Massachusetts has access to information about the Israeli government.
Yeah.
So if the latter is the case, clearly it shouldn't be the case. So the one lesson here has to do with data security, without a doubt.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your analysis. Much appreciated, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you. My pleasure, you too.